In this demonstration, I'm going to show teachers how to create a new class notebook for next year. What this process will do is transfer anything from your content library from 2016 into 2017. Now, all we need to do this year is to get the content ready. We don't need to add teachers, we don't need to add students to the class notebook. To complete this process, we're going to be working in OneDrive a lot. Now, OneNote class notebooks sit in OneDrive because they're cloud-based, and being in the cloud allows you and your students and other teachers to collaborate in the OneNote class notebooks, as we already know. So, to begin this process, I'm going to go to portal.office.com, as you can see. Now you'll be asked to sign in, so use your school email address and your password, and that should take you straight through into our portal landing page. So what we're going to do is go into Class Notebook here. Now this is an online tool that we use every time we create a class notebook, and we're going to use the first blue option here to create a class notebook. So I'm going to create my 2017 10 Media Arts notebook and click Next. Now these are our normal reminders about how the class notebooks are set up, with the collaboration space that we can turn on or off as we need it, the content library, which is what I'm going to be creating today, and the student notebooks, which we're just going to leave blank until next year. So we'll go Next. So now I'm not going to worry about teacher permission, we'll worry about that next year. You can always go back in and edit this. So we'll go Next, and we're not going to add student names either. What I might do though is just leave sections to 1 by just leaving a homework section in there for now. Again, we can always change these at a later date, but I think it's a good idea to start with less rather than more. So let's go Next. And now we have our basic layout. The teacher's notebook will look like this, with the welcome page, content library and collaboration space. There's no student sections because I haven't added any students. But if I was to add a student, they would have a homework section, as you can see there. So now I'm going to go Create, and we'll wait for the setup process to happen. This won't take too long because it's not creating the student spaces. And now what I'm going to do is open in OneNote. So it's going to ask me to launch the application. Of course, this only works if you have OneNote 2016 installed on your computer. So I'm going to go Launch Application. Yes, one more thing to allow because we're getting content from the internet. So we'll go Yes. And now, as you can see, it has downloaded onto my OneNote the 2017 10 Media Arts notebook. So what I want to do is to transfer the information from the content library this year into next year's one. And this is the basic welcome pages. If you are new to OneNote, please take some time to go through these resources. They are fantastic, and they'll give you really good insights into how teachers use OneNote class notebooks in the classroom. Also, there's information about Office Mix, which we have started working with this year at the college, and Sway, which is a great presentation tool which integrates with all the Office applications. So there's some great links there to get you started. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is jump to my 10 Media Arts notebook that I have had in operation for semester 2. And I'm simply going to go into my content library. As you can see, we're now in the class notebook tab, and if you haven't got this installed, I recommend you do. Wait until the end of this video for further instructions. Now what we're going to do is simply distribute the content library. So I go into here and I can choose which sections I want to distribute. I'm going to go into Making and take both my animation and music video sections. Again, these are my read-only content library sections, so they're good ones to distribute. And I'm going to choose my 2017 Media Arts class notebook as the destination. So I'll go Copy. The progress bar will indicate how things are going. And the warning screen there is saying it will make a copy of this section in the destination notebook, and the current copy will remain in its present location. So that's okay. We might not need to see that warning again. It looks like that process is complete. So let's now jump into my 2017 10 Media Arts notebook, and I'm going to look inside the content library, and I can see both of those sections have been transferred. So that's how you can transfer content into your class notebooks for 2017. At this point in time, I recommend that's all you do, and in the new year we'll be adding students and teachers to our class notebooks. So before I mentioned that all of the OneNote class notebooks sit on OneDrive. So if we go from the portal, portal.office.com, and we go into the OneDrive app, I'll show you where they are. So we've signed in now, and if you scroll down, you'll see a folder, Class Notebooks. And when we enter that folder, here are all the class notebook resources that I've been working with this year. Now, what this demonstrates to you is even after you close your class notebook on your computer, you've always got an archived version of that class notebook. So unless you actually click on the checkbox and delete the class notebook, it will always sit in your infinite OneDrive space. So the last thing we want to do, knowing that these class notebooks are archived on our OneDrives, is to go into the actual bookshelf here, as it's called, and if I right click on 10 Media Arts, I can close this notebook. And what that does is it gets it off my bookshelf, it removes it from my OneNote on this computer, but of course I can always access it again by going through the OneDrive class notebooks folder. Now finally, about the class notebook add-in. If you don't have this, I highly recommend that you use it because it makes reviewing student work, adding and removing students, teachers, management of the notebook so much easier. And one of the greatest features is to be able to distribute pages straight into student notebooks when the students are set up. This isn't set up because, again, this is a 2017 notebook that I'm preparing for next year. The easiest way to download that OneNote class notebook add-in is to go back to the portal, portal.office.com, go to class notebook and click on the link. Now here you'll see download the class notebook add-in. So when we click on that, the file is downloaded, and what this will do is run an installer, and it will add that final tab to OneNote. So this is now completed. I'm going to launch the application, agree, and click the install button. Now it's going to ask me to close OneNote. So here we go, please close OneNote so the setup can continue. So I'm going to go into OneNote, just right click and close it. And now that that's done, I can go back in here, click OK. So that process has completed itself, and we can now launch OneNote, and you will notice that the class notebook tab has been added. What's also very useful is the ability to go into the professional development drop-down and to watch videos on OneNote for teachers training, how to use this add-in. That's a very useful guide. Let's have a quick look at that, and you'll see this launches straight into resources that you can follow with screenshots. And most useful is the ability to manage your class notebooks using these buttons, review student work, and to send pages and sections to students' notebooks and into other notebooks if you're transferring your content. So please download this class notebook add-in. It will make your use of OneNote class notebooks much easier.